And as soon as you're ready, you can begin.
Growing up, the disease ran in my family. My grandma and my uncle both diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Caroline Trapp, director of the Diabetes Education and Care for the Physicians Committee, explains Native Americans have the highest prevalence of diabetes among all U.S. racial and ethnic groups. As a child, it's hard to understand what diabetes is and can be. I was going into my senior year in 2010. I was a healthy three-sport athlete without a care in the world. It was flu season, and the scary virus at the time was the H1N1 virus, the swine flu, rare but contagious and dangerous. I fell ill with the flu a week after cases started in our county. A bullheaded teen, I did not want to go visit the doctor, and I tried to fight it with fluids and rest at my house. A few days passed into 2 weeks. I went from 215 to 170 within that time. Feeling the worst I've ever felt in my life, I finally go into the ER. My sugar tested above 900. Normal sugars are between 80 and 120. I smelt of sweet candies. The doctors, after getting the results, diagnosed me with diabetes type 1, explaining the flu virus attacked and killed my pancreas, a highly rare case. Insulin dependent the rest of my life, I was crushed. I'll be explaining the two types of diabetes, type 1 and type 2. Type 1. What is type 1 diabetes? Type 1 diabetes means the body is dependent on insulin injections and testing blood sugars. The body no longer has the means to produce insulin in the body from the pancreas. Insulin helps break down the sugars and the carbohydrates in the bloodstream to convert them into energy for the body. Insulin helps regulate the blood sugar in the body. Too high, and the blood can become toxic poison. Too low, and you could slip into a diabetic coma. These unregulated blood sugars can lead to further health problems. Linda Nazorko says diabetes leads to problems with vision, circulation, increases the risk of disease, stroke, dementia, and nerve damage. There is no cure for type 1 and cannot be prevented, as it can be passed down hereditarily. Some signs and symptoms of type 1. Weight loss without a change in the diet or exercise regimen. Frequent urination with a constant urge to go. Irritability, the confusion, anxiety, or antsiness, or being on the edge for no reason. Blurry vision. When your sugar gets high for a period of time, your vision becomes blurry. And fruity breath, easily smelled and really sweet. Type 2. What is type 2 diabetes? Dr. Kristen Smith explains that type 2 diabetes is the body's pancreas' ability to produce minimal insulin, but cells in the body do not respond to the insulin. This is called insulin resistance. Type 2 requires blood testing, as well as insulin and medications if needed. It has the same health problems that come with type 1 diabetes, but the good news is there is a way to reverse type 2 diabetes, as well as taking preventative measures. Some signs and symptoms of type 2 diabetes include weight loss without your change in diet or exercise, an excessive thirst, which is stronger thirst than normal, an uneasing hunger, which means you're never satisfied even after a meal, your occasional headaches, more constant than normal, and dry mouth, cottony feeling after feeling excessive thirst. There are treatments for both type 1 and type 2 diabetes. Preventions can be taken to prevent the onset of type 2 diabetes. Here is a graphic revealing the similarities between type 1 and type 2. Type 1 cannot be prevented or cured, and type 2 can be prevented through lifestyle modifications. They both share that cause other serious health problems and complications. Treatments and preventions. Treatment. For type 1, the main things is testing blood sugars daily. There is a manual meter where the person pricks their own finger and tests their sugars. This is right here. This is the way I test my blood sugar daily. We are moving into the new technology here at the IHS, so hopefully I'll be into that soon. The newer technology allows a pod to be implemented that regulates sugar 24/7 through an app. This is the Dexcom, or here pictured, the Freestyle Libre. Taking your insulin. This is also another treatment for your diabetes. The first is the syringe and the bottle. This is the way you may have seen your old grandparents take the insulin. This is the oldest way of the insulin treatment, as we are here today. Insulin pens with screw-on top needles. That is what I use at the moment as well, and these are both the insulins I take, at least up to 5 times a day. The next is the insulin pump. This is surgically attached to you, and you can dial how much insulin you need at the exact moment, and it will deliver it to you. Next is the Omnipod. This is the new technology in diabetes control. The pod is attached to you by the doctor, and you just swipe your phone by the pod, and it'll inject you with the amount of insulin needed to regulate. Steps for treating type 2. An improved diet. Exercise, regular exercise, and maintain a healthy weight. Medications to control your blood sugar. This can be from pills to certain types of insulin, as well as self-management through your lifestyle. Some preventions. Now this is for type 2 diabetes only, as it is hard to prevent type 1. Check into your regular health screenings, including blood work and organ functions as needed for those tests. Strive for a healthy diet, exercise, and try not to smoke and drink. Exercise is huge. For type 1, it can lower blood pressure and lower the risk of neuropathy. And for type 2, it can lower the blood glucose levels and reduce insulin requirement, enhancing your chances to reverse type 2 diabetes. Nearly 34.2 million people, or almost 11% of the population in the U.S., have been diagnosed with diabetes. Statistics provided by Dr. Kristen Smith. I want to say that people can continue to have a normal life when diagnosed with diabetes. You continue your daily activities, you can enjoy your food, you can enjoy exercise, sports, and your daily profession. We strive to find a cure for type 1 with advancement in medicine, technology, as well as the heightened awareness we hope for one day to find a cure for this epidemic. Thank you.